No nonsense, 2024 was an extremely solid year for indie games, and there are a ton on the horizon for this year. So in no particular order, let's go over some of my most anticipated indie games of 2025.
Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter.
Tales of Iron 1 came out of left field for me. I remember I went to GameStop with a buddy of mine and he pulled this game out kind of like from the very bottom, and I remember immediately being intrigued by the artwork, and you'd never believe it, I treated this like old school. I didn't look up the game on my phone, I didn't check reviews for it, I checked out the box and that was enough to get me interested, and let's say I am glad I trusted my intuition on this one, because the game is an absolute banger, so likely I would be more than hyped for the sequel. Being developed again by Oddbug Studios, the original was a Souls-like where you played as a rat named Reggie trying to reclaim his throne. One of the coolest aspects of this game and its story is it was narrated by the voice of Geralt of Rivia himself, Doug Cockle, and he is back once again for the sequel. I was so surprised how much I enjoyed the narrative of the original, and I think Doug's voice absolutely had a hand in it. So I am very excited to see where the sequel takes place. This game also looks to have big boss battles similar to the first game, but it seems like it's going even bigger. I see a ton of magic in the trailers, which looks super exciting. Now this is essentially a Souls-like, and while it may be a bit more forgiving, the original was still pretty dang difficult, so do keep that in mind. All in all, if you love games with great combat, bosses, world, and a good story, Tales of Iron 2 has to be on your radar. It drops January 28th, and if you have not, please play the original. Replaced is another one that is shaping up to be really something. You play as an AI named Reach who is trapped inside a human's body against his will. Now this one is a little different because I actually got the chance to play this earlier this year. Back at Summer Game Fest in 2024, I was able to go hands-on with several games, and there was a last minute, there was a cancellation. I was able to slide right in and check out Replaced. Boy, was I left impressed. There were a few different modes to check out. Some covered like the lore and the story itself, but there was a strict combat section, which was my absolute favorite. The animations were superb, the combat felt super fluid, and I cannot wait to check out this game's story. That is all we really have on it so far. It has been delayed several times, but I am really hoping it sticks the landing this year in 2025, because if the full release is anything like what I played, we were in for a real treat. Reanimal is another one that kind of came out of left field for me. I am a huge fan of the Little Nightmares franchise, and I did not learn until recently that Little Nightmares 3 is not actually being developed by the same creators as the original two. Little Nightmares 3 is now being done by Supermassive Games, which is still a super solid company who makes pretty good games, but I also got to play a demo of Little Nightmares 3 again at an event earlier in 2024, and honestly, to say I was underwhelmed is an understatement. But the reason they are taking up this project is because Tarsier Studios, who did the original two, are now taking on this project, Reanimal. And one look at the trailer, and I was locked in and understood completely. Now, also important to note that both of these games are going to offer co-op, but Little Nightmares 3 is only online co-op, while Reanimal is both couch and online co-op. I think this is a huge distinction. I will still absolutely play both of these games, but honestly, it seems Reanimal is going to be the game that satisfies that Little Nightmares craving that I've had for many years. What if there was a game that was inspired by Hollow Knight, Devil May Cry, and Bloodborne? It sounds awesome, right? But look no further than Crowsworn. I've had my eye on this since the inevitable silence of Hollow Knight Silksong, and this looked to kind of fill that void. Unfortunately, this game did also receive several delays, but I'm very hopeful this will actually launch in 2025. I love the aesthetic of this game, especially as someone who considers Hollow Knight as one of like the best games of all time. The inspiration is worn on their sleeve here, but it looks like these guys will hopefully have enough unique ideas to make it their own. I believe they've done several demos for backers during the Kickstarter campaign, and I've heard nothing but positive things. I'm super hopeful for Crowsworn to come out this year. I think it is going to be something really special.
But the burnt one and a small flame took a wander down the midnight walk.
There are two things that I absolutely love, and that is unique concepts for video games and stop motion. And that is exactly what the Midnight Walk looks like. Coming from the same crew who developed Lost in Random comes a stop motion style game made with real clay, then 3D animated into the game. What's even more exciting is this is coming to both VR and non-VR. Atmosphere, characters, designs look absolutely insane. I'm genuinely not sure how the actual game is going to play at all though. We've not really seen any actual gameplay from it yet, but the concept is so intriguing and unique that I will be picking this up day one. Hollow Knight is still coming out this year, right? There really isn't any reason to drag this one out. I feel everyone is looking forward to Hollow Knight Silksong. It's just a matter of when the heck does this thing come out? I really hope we get an update from Team Cherry sometime soon because, God, I'm itching to play this. This is another one that, again, I don't really have a lot of details on exactly, but man, do I love the design of this. I feel like I'm not the only one who was immediately intrigued as soon as I saw this first trailer. A first-person shooter with rubber hose-styled animation? Yeah, how cool is that? The gameplay just looks super unique, kind of gives me a Cuphead feel to it. I just love everything about it. I have put in a request to get a review code for this because I am really itching to get my hands on this one, and I really hope that it delivers. I am so ridiculously excited for Expedition 33, and I'm not really even someone who's a fan of turn-based combat, but God, this game just looks like it has so much sauce. The world looks so vibrant, the voice actors in the game are looking excellent. At this point, I'm really not interested in doing a ton of research into this game because I am already completely sold on the concept already, and I will be picking this up day one. I'm really interested how they're going to mix both the turn-based combat with real-time action. It looks awesome. The different enemy variety and locations just looks absolutely ridiculous, and I hope they continue that. I'm not really sure how long this game is supposed to be though. If I was to guess, it's a smaller team, maybe 15 to 20 hours, maybe. But I don't know, I really hope this one delivers. I am completely rooting for it. A new Ninja Gaiden game in 2025 being developed by the same people who made Blasphemous? This is a joke? How could I not be stoked for this? Blasphemous are some of my all-time favorite indie games that I've ever played, and I'm such a huge fan of the Ninja Gaiden franchise. The art style looks awesome, the music, combat, traversal. You don't have to say any more. Please sign me up. Funny enough, I did not even know about this until doing some research. I'm a big fan of the game Lost in Random and an even bigger fan of roguelikes, so combining the two seems really interesting. It obviously looks very different than the original game, but I think if pulled off well, this could really be something. Now, to be fair, this is a competitive genre with titans in it already. I mean, we literally have Hades 2 launching later this year, so only time will tell if this is really something unique or not so much. But I hope for the best. I will be rooting for it anyways. Well, that's all I really have for now. There are obviously a ton of more indie games coming out this year I will still be checking out regardless, and some I might have not even heard of yet. Some that might get announced later this year, you never know. But these are the ones I am most excited for as of right now. Let me know which ones you guys are looking forward to and which ones I need to keep an eye out on. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.